Imagine if your computer could read 10 times more text without getting slower. No extra GPUs, no extra memory, just a clever trick. That's exactly what Deepseek did. Instead of reading words like every other AI, it looks at them. It turns your text into pictures and somehow reads them faster. It's called Deepseek OCR, and it might just change how AIs think forever. Here's the problem. Big AI models like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude have a serious weakness. They forget things. The more you talk, the slower and dumber they get. Why? Because every single word is a token. The longer the text, the more tokens the model has to juggle. That means more computation, more memory, and more money. Now imagine giving the AI a 100-page document. That's tens of thousands of tokens, and suddenly your smart model starts lagging. DeepSeek looked at that and said, what if we didn't give AI text at all? What if we gave it an image of the text instead? It sounds dumb at first, but it's pure genius. Here's how it works. DeepSeek's model, called Deepseek OCR, doesn't read text directly. It takes a document, turns it into an image, and breaks that image into tiny vision tokens. Then, another part of the model decodes those vision tokens back into words. That's it. A digital brain that reads by seeing. Normally, 1,000 words equals about 1,000 tokens, but DeepSeek OCR can describe that same page with just 100 vision tokens. That's a 10 times compression, and it still reads with 97% accuracy. Even at 20 times compression, it stays around 60%. That's like cramming an entire novel into a single photo and still understanding it. This process is called optical context compression, and it's insanely efficient. Here's the part that really blows people's minds. It's not even complicated. DeepSeek didn't invent some new kind of neural network. They just reused what already worked and connected it smartly. It has two main components. First, a deep encoder. That's the part that looks at the image. It's made from familiar tools. SAM, a model for understanding image segments. CLIP, the famous model that connects images and text. Between them, DeepSeek added a 16 times compressor. Think of it like a visual zip file. Then comes the decoder, a lightweight language model that reads the compressed visual data and turns it back into words. This part uses what's called a mixture of experts, meaning it only activates a few small brains at a time instead of the whole thing. The result? Massive efficiency, and it runs smoothly on a single GPU. So yeah, no magic, just elegant design. When DeepSeek tested it, the results were wild. On benchmarks like OmniDoc Bench, it outperformed models 10 times larger. It used 100 tokens per page and beat older OCR systems that used 6,000 tokens. Even GPT-4v, yes, OpenAI's multimodal model, was on par, not ahead. And this isn't limited to plain text. DeepSeek OCR can read charts, chemical formulas, even geometry diagrams. It's like giving AI the ability to read textbooks, slides, and reports all in one shot. They even added a feature called Gundam Mode. That's for ultra high resolution pages like newspapers or research PDFs. It combines local and global image tiles so the model doesn't get confused by layout. Funny name, but it works, and it's ridiculously efficient. Here's where it gets even crazier. This isn't just about reading documents. DeepSeek's optical compression could completely change AI memory. Think about ChatGPT. Every conversation you have adds tokens, and eventually it forgets old messages. But what if AI could store those old chats as images? It could keep everything compressed, visualized, and easy to recall later. In the DeepSeek paper, they literally draw this idea. As time goes on, the memory images get smaller and blurrier, just like human memory is fading with time. Recent memories stay crisp, Old ones fade naturally. That's what they call the forgetting mechanism. And it's freakishly similar to how our brains work. This is a big deal for long context AI. Right now, models can handle maybe 1 million tokens of memory before they start breaking. But if you turn those into images, you could, in theory, fit 10 million tokens worth of information into the same space. This means an AI that can remember everything you've ever said, every book, every article, every video transcript, and still respond instantly. It's the kind of leap that could make true lifelong AI memory possible. And here's the best part. Deepseek made it open source. You can literally download it on GitHub and run it yourself. That's why everyone in the AI community started talking about it. It's not just another research paper, it's a real working system. Here's the takeaway. DeepSeek didn't win by being bigger. It won by being clever. Instead of fighting the problem of long context with more compute, it changed the game by switching from text to vision. It's a reminder that sometimes the smartest solutions are the simplest. When everyone else was adding layers and billions of parameters, DeepSeek just said, what if we take a picture? And it worked. So yeah, Deepseek OCR isn't just another AI model. It's a glimpse into the future of how AIs might think. 9 words, but in images, compact, visual, and efficient. If you found this wild, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments what you'd compress first. Your notes, your research papers, or maybe your entire brain. Because at this rate, AI might beat us to it. Why this trick feels so human. You know what's funny? DeepSeek's trick feels less like coding and more like biology. Humans don't store every word we read. We store images of meaning. When you recall a memory, you don't replay every sentence. You see flashes, shapes, and colors. That's exactly what DeepSeek is doing for AI, teaching it to think in snapshots instead of paragraphs. It's almost poetic, turning the machine's weakness into a mirror of how we remember, the ripple effect. And here's where things get really interesting. If AI can compress words into visuals, imagine what that means for education, research, or even history. An AI historian could scan thousands of old documents every second and remember them forever as compact images. A medical AI could store millions of patient charts without forgetting a single one. Even creative tools could work differently. Picture an AI editor that doesn't scroll through text, but sees your story's structure like a map. That's not science fiction. DeepSeek just opened that door. From reading to understanding. Because at some point, speed isn't the goal. Understanding is. Reading faster doesn't matter unless you can actually connect the ideas. By seeing whole pages at once, Deepseek OCR captures layout, charts, tables, context. That's something normal text-based AIs always struggled with. This model isn't just reading, it's grasping meaning visually, the same way our brains scan a page. And that could be the next evolution of how AIs think. Visually first, textually second. What comes next? DeepSeek's researchers already hinted at what's coming. A future where optical compression lets LLMs handle infinite context. 1 million-page memory compressed into a few thousand vision tokens. They're even testing ways to mix this with digital text, half written, half visual, like hybrid thinking. Imagine AI agents that recall your past chats as images, then zoom in to reread key moments when needed. That's not just smarter AI, that's selective memory. It's the first real step toward giving machines something like intuition. So maybe DeepSeek OCR isn't just an AI that reads. It's the first hint of how intelligence itself might evolve, not by brute force or massive data centers, but by seeing the world more efficiently, like we do. Sometimes the biggest revolutions come from the simplest ideas: a camera, a compressor, and a little curiosity. And that's why this story matters. Because one day soon, when your AI remembers your life in pictures, you'll know exactly where it started with Deepseek.